We begin tonight with the breaking news. Fargo police have released pictures of two men believed to have been involved in an assault in downtown Fargo. Take a look at your screen. Fargo police released this afternoon the pictures of these two men. Police say that they are wanted in connection to an April 6th assault in downtown Fargo. If you know who they are, you're asked to call police right away. Now, 4 people have already been arrested in that assault that happened that Saturday morning. They're all up on your screen right now. Their charges range from aggravated assault to accomplice to aggravated assault. Fargo police say 2 men were badly hurt in the assault, from a broken nose to one victim needing a titanium plate to be put into his forehead. Valley News Live has been tracking many stories for you so far this year involving assaults in downtown Fargo. Tonight, Valley News team's Gabriel Osler brings us an exclusive interview with an assault victim in another case we've been following for you. And we also hear from Fargo police, who say downtown Fargo isn't an unsafe area to be in.
Out of the blue, he just started attacking us, and that's when I stepped in to defend someone who was knocked out, and my jaw was broken pretty shortly after that.
Hearing Megan describe it now, you'd hardly believe that a little over 3 months ago, she had a GoFundMe set up for her medical expenses. Her broken jaw allegedly came from Zechariah Weaver, who faces charges of aggravated assault and simple assault after attacking multiple people somewhat near where we're standing outside District 64.
I definitely stay away from downtown. I kind of just, if I want to go out, stick to the smaller bars on the outskirts of town.
Megan isn't alone in making that decision. This is part of what many people perceive as a growing trend downtown.
When you look at how many people go downtown, how much activity there is downtown, we have relatively few incidents that actually occur.
Fargo police push back on that assertion. Data does state that violent crime as a whole is down, and the department says downtown is no more dangerous than any other area of the city.
I think that folks that look at downtown as being unsafe aren't really getting the full picture.
Still, the anecdotal evidence stands out in people's minds. There's the beating from April 6th of this year that left one man needing to have a titanium plate placed in his head, and the recent sentencing of 2 former Old Broadway bouncers due to their actions last July. Business owners we spoke to are worried about this stigma keeping customers away. The Fargo PD says they're working with those owners to create a safe and enjoyable downtown area for all.
Our officers are encouraged to stop in with businesses and just visit on a periodic basis, as well as if any business owners or residents have issues or concerns about downtown, we always try to address those.
In Fargo, Gabriel Osler, Valley News Live.
No trial date has been set for Weaver in that assault just yet. As for Megan, she's just recently started to be able to eat food again with her jaw healing.